to allow Felicitas to come and talk to us and do some opening remarks. Felicitas? Feli? Felicitas? Felicitas, are you there? Okay, Frecia, you can be able to speak on behalf of Felicitas. Frecia. Frecia, are you able to speak on behalf of Felicitas? I think Frecia and Felicitas are having internet trouble. So we are going to go straight to Cleophas, who is going to give some information, and then Martha is going to give us some background information.
Yes. Thank you very much. I hope everybody can hear me. Please, you can hear me so that I can proceed.
Yeah, Cleo, we can hear you. Felicitas has just called me. She's having internet issues. Go on, Cleo.
Okay, thank you very much. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all the children that are with us today. We brought you traditions of the Day of the African. So many of you have taken part in various celebrations of the Day of the country over the last week or so. And basically, this is a day that is dedicated to children. We have different themes every year across the continent. And it's basically a forum where we come together to celebrate African children, to listen to the various recommendations that they have on various issues that affect them, and to try and come up with resolutions across the African continent regarding children. So I would like to warmly welcome all the children that are on board with us today. And the theme for this year's Day of the African Child is access to child-friendly juvenile justice. We are going to have some people from various organizations speaking, explaining this theme. But the main focus of today's meeting, the various measures or institutions that have to do with access to justice at country level, what recommendations they have for various leaders on the continent in terms of ensuring that this is improved to make sure that the needs and aspirations of children are achieved, and also for children to tell us what part they want to play in this whole spectrum of access to justice. A lot of conversations have been held with various professionals in this field, but at the end of the day, it is the person that is affected by this that has the greatest say. And for us, that is children. So I want to ask the children to be as truthful, as forthcoming, as free as possible. This is a very friendly space. We just want to listen to your opinion about this year's theme, to gather your experiences, to get your recommendations, so that the same can be given to the various leaders that will be attending the celebrations tomorrow. So I would like to welcome you all to this session, and to invite Martha from World Vision to make a brief presentation that will explain this year's theme to the children that are attending the consultation. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Cleophas. Yes, as Cleophas mentioned, every year in June 16, the Day of the African Child is commemorated throughout Africa. And over the years, there has been different themes whereby some specific rights and some specific child protection issues have been raised. And this year in 2020, the Day of the African Child is going to be commemorated under the theme of access to child-friendly justice. And my role now is for you, for the children to really, describe or the content of what child-friendly justice system means, so that you can have, you'll have a better understanding and you'll be on the same page with each other. I realize that children are here from different parts of the continent, and it would be good for you guys to have the same understanding of the theme, so that you can discuss, as Cleophas said, discuss openly and speak around the issue, so that you can have a better and concrete resolution and statements and questions for tomorrow. As you all know, tomorrow is the Day of the African Child, and there will be, government representatives, some organization representatives, African Union staff, and some officials will be there. And therefore, it's very good for you children to have this discussion today and have your questions and statements aligned, so that you can make a better voice. Now, children are entitled to different rights under the African Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Child. That is a big instrument, a big charter that all of you children need to know. And under it, there are several rights and protection that are outlined for you, despite where you live in the continent. Okay? So one of these rights is for you guys to have a child-friendly justice system in your governments, both locally or at national level. Yeah? So the access to child-friendly justice, what does it mean? For me, the way I see it, if I was a child of 15 years old, like you, or even younger, it might be difficult for me to understand what it is. Therefore, it might confuse me. That's why we have this discussion now, so that you understand it better. So access to child-friendly systems means everything related to, in our countries, we have, the police offices, we have different courts with different judges, and we have, different institutions where sometimes children can be involved in. Now, children can be involved in those processes, in those specific institutions, as a witness, for example. I don't know how many of you have had that experience in the past. Children can go to courts as a witness, or as offenders sometimes, or as an applicant or a respondent, or children can be called into immigration offices to be asked certain aspects. So in all these situations, when there are children, there are specific requirements that our government need to fulfill. Children, due to their age, they should not be treated as adults, and they should not be expected to understand some difficult concepts. Therefore, our government need to provide you guys, children, in an easy way for you to understand. If there is a document, that document needs to be in the way that you understand. If there is a judge speaking to you, the judge need to understand that you are young, and therefore they should not use difficult languages that you don't understand. And then when you have questions, you have all the right to ask. It doesn't matter who the person that you are talking to. It doesn't matter which officials in your government you are talking to. You have all these rights to ask questions, to say, I don't understand why I'm here, And then our government in those different offices, they need to put a mechanism where you feel free to speak. If there is, for example, an open hearing, if you don't feel comfortable to speak in front of many people, even though it's a court or even though it's a police station, then you have the right to speak to the only one person. You should not be exposed in certain areas where you feel threatened or you feel some kind of fear. Okay? All these rights need to be there for you. I know that some of our countries, some of our governments don't have, the resources to ensure that they fulfill everything for us. For example, in some courts, when children are called to speak to the judge, they need to be given a platform to speak to the judge freely, and they need to be, sitting somewhere that they are comfortable. The chair, for example, or the cubicle that they sit in, is it comfortable? If you're not comfortable, then you should be able to speak, and the judge or the officer need to understand you and need to accept your concerns. Yeah, those are some of the principles and some of the protection mechanisms that you have under your local laws, but as well as under the African Charter. Okay, and when, for example, when a child commits a certain offense, for example, he or she should not be treated as an adult. They should be treated as young people, and they should be actually treated as a victim. Because for that child to commit an offense or a crime, the law should presume that that child has not been provided the bare minimum of of things that he or she needs. With that assumption, then the child needs to be treated as a victim rather than as an offender. I'm not to mean that they should not be asked, but the process of how they are being asked need to be very fair. And it needs to fulfill the right of, the basic principle that the best interest of the child prevails. Okay? So every process that you might get into in your countries need to take into consideration your right to protection. They need to determine the best interest of you, the child. They need to put non-discrimination. How are they treating each children, despite your background, despite your ethnicity, despite your color, despite your gender? How are they treating you? There should not be any difference. All children below the age of 18 should be considered indifferently, and they should be protected from any kind of abuse or harm, even in our justice system, even if the child has committed, some offense. These are the basic, the highlight of a child-friendly justice system. So I would really want you to think in your head now that how do I have some experience in this regard? Did I witness my cousin, my friend, my brother, my sister, my friends from school being held in a police custody? What did they do to him? Okay? So now that you have understood these principles, please reflect and talk to each other, your peers. As children, talk to each other and see so that you can say tomorrow, or put in a statement, or your colleagues, your friends tomorrow will be speaking on behalf of you. So you have certain questions together today. You can be able to develop today, saying that what is it that my government is missing? What is it that I lack in our system, in our local government? How are they treating children? When they are in court, when they are in, government official institutions, how are they being treated? Is it in accordance to these principles? Just ask yourself and discuss openly. With these questions that you are going to have, the round of questions, please reflect openly and discuss. That way, you'll have a better understanding with one another, but also will have a better statement and question for tomorrow. I hope that's helpful, and I hope you'll have a productive discussion today, and happy Day of the African Child. Over to you, Cleophas.
Thank you, Martha. I think now we can move on to Jennifer to moderate the rest of the session.
Hi, boys and girls. I am so happy that you guys are here, and we're just going to talk about the justice system. I know we have we have groups of children from the justice system who have joined us. So I just want to find out from you, like, what do you understand by the term justice system? I have seen a few hands, so I'm going to allow you, those ones who have lifted up your hand, I just want you to let me know, what do you understand? What Martha has done a very good job explaining what is the law talks about you being in the justice system. But according to you, as a child, what does justice system mean? I'm going to start with Emmanuel. From Emmanuel, what does the justice system mean? Emmanuel?
Yes.
What does the justice system mean?
Okay. So the justice system is a system of law enforcement involving police, lawyers, courts, and correctional facilities used for stages of criminal proceedings and punishment. It is directly involved with apprehending, prosecuting, defending, sentencing, and punishing those that are suspected or convicted of criminal offenses, but also protecting the innocent in their doings. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Protecting the innocents as they're going on. So, Daniel also, what does the justice mean to you?
Justice means to me one who is guilty is brought before the court, and justice is the practice of delivering the truth.
Delivering the truth. Wow, that's very good. Desmond, what does justice mean? Desmond?
Delivering the truth.
Yes. Hello?
Yes, Desmond, go on.
Okay, to me, justice means when you should be brought before the judiciary or to be brought before the court to be treated well according to yourself, not being treated based on your characteristics or your color or anything, but being treated fairly in the courts.
Being treated fairly, regardless of where you come from. I'm going to ask, I can't see the girls from lifting up their hand. Faith Chibwe. And as you talk, please introduce yourself, which country you come from. This is for our notes. Faith, you are lifting up your hand. Please lower your hand and talk. Faith?
Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Go on.
All right, thank you. My name is Faith Chibwe from Zambia. So for me, justice, the way I understand it, is in the way, the behavior in which they settle cases or crimes, they say, where it is done fairly and where they see that what can we do to resolve this issue and make sure that the perpetrator is punished if it was done intentionally or it was just a mistake, in cases like that and things like that. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Faye. Ayad.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. What does justice mean to you? Your hand was up.
That will be just it's a fear between the poor and the rich. No more, no, be like there's a boy. I'm sorry. Just justice. Can we see? And I'm sorry. Can't.
Sorry, Ayad, we can't hear you. Anel, are you able to talk?
Justice means the fairness and protection of the rights and punishment of the rights, while all the legal system aims to uphold an idea through the fairness, proper administration of the law of the land.
Okay. So we've heard from different...
Donc, nous avons écouté partie de différentes personnes.
Dominique, your interpretation is off.
Allô? Est-ce que vous m'entendez? Est-ce que vous m'entendez? Français. Canal français. Est-ce que vous m'entendez?
Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry. No, we can't hear you. Who is this?
Hello, French?
I've already assigned you. Please move to the interpretation booth. Christy, so for the next part, I just want us to talk because we don't have a lot of time. We have less than 1.5 hours to go. So I want us to, and I'm going to give this priority to a few children who know this. So what are the challenges that you think in your country that the justice system is facing? What are the challenges? I've seen a hand. I've seen Mumin's hand up. I've seen, who else? Bridget's hand up. So what are some of the challenges that you are facing? What are the gaps? What are the challenges that you are facing as a child, or that your country is facing when it comes for you as a child accessing justice? Getting that fairness in law. What I can see hands, they have started coming up. So I'm going to start with Mumin for 1 second, for 30 seconds, please. Just for 30 seconds, and then you talk in 30 seconds. Mumin, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, madam, for the time you gave me. I'm called Mumin Abdullah Mumin. I'm Kenya.
Yeah.
Hope you're hearing me.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. As a child, we must be facing. We are facing many problems. But me, I just want to discuss about, and two things. One of it being education, and the other one, child labor and all those sorts of things. So when I start with education, in Kenya, we are facing a lot of problem at this time of COVID, and when it comes to the norms and at the normal time. At the normal time, we have teachers problem down in my hometown, which is Mandera. We had the problems to do with teachers just because of security. When it comes to security, it was just teachers were, local teachers were the most teachers who used to be in my hometown, mostly in Northeastern. So what happened was that due to insecurity problems, those teachers were shifted from there in the name of security. So one of the problems under which comes to education we are facing is that we lack some teachers, where they have gone in terms of, in the name of security, which was an order from the CS. So that's one of the problems. When I talk about the child labor, children are treated and misled by even some parents just because of them being an alcoholic parents. Those parents may not be giving education. They don't access education to the children just because even they themselves don't know what importance of education is. What importance of education is parents. Hello?
Yes, go on.
Hello.
Yeah, I saw somebody. Yeah. So, okay, I just wanted to raise those 2 points. One of them being child labor by the by alcoholic parents, and the issue of education in this time of COVID and other times.
Thank you so much,
you, madam.
Mumin. I can see I'm going to give an opportunity for those ones who have not spoken yet. Christella Kiza. Christella?
My name is Christella Kiza. I'm from Zaleka refugee camp in Malawi.
Okay.
And one of the challenges I would like to talk about is that sometimes in the refugee camps, when children have been abused or maybe their rights have been abused or the girls have been defiled, it's a must that these children should go and report, but sometimes it's not easy for those children to go and report since you might find that the perpetrator, it's the person whom that child relies on. You find that the perpetrator is the parent of that child. So the child is afraid that if I go to report, today where am I going to sleep? If I go to report, my life would be in danger. So it's not easy for these children to go and report. Their rights are abused and they're not able to report just because the ones who are abusing them are the same people whom they rely on. And the next thing I would like to talk about is that the cases take long time to be concluded when presented to courts. And when that happens, the perpetrators might run away and the case will just take longer to be concluded, which is not justice, which is not justice at all to the child who has been abused. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Christella. I'm getting from you, it's difficult because justice system cannot happen if you're not able to report your case. And when you report, you are fearing the person the person you are reporting is the person that you are relying on. And number 3, the cases are taking too long. Thank you so much, Christella. I am going to allow Bridget Carter. Bridget, please, your name is a bit difficult to pronounce, your second name. Bridget, just what are the challenges of accessing justice?
Yeah, Bridget, do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Bridget.
Yeah, I'm Bridget. I'm from Burundi.
Yes.
But I need to speak you in French.
It's okay, go on, just speak in French.
Ok. Pour nous, la justice, c'est pour l'égalité de tout le monde. C'est l'égalité entre tous les enfants. Mais malheureusement, nous constatons qu'il y a des inégalités au niveau de l'éducation, au niveau de du logement, au niveau de la santé, même au niveau de il y a toujours des inégalités. Alors, ça dépend de la qualité des gens, de la classe sociale des enfants. Les enfants qui sont aisés sont ils ont leur justice convenablement, mais les enfants de la classe pauvre n'arrivent pas à avoir cette justice comme il le faut. Alors, c'est toujours un problème entre ces enfants Donc, les enfants
It's always a
qui viennent de la
problem
classe
among
inférieure, je
these,
dirais, c'est pas
children who are coming
la
from
classe
a lower
inférieure.
class, if I
Donc,
can say
ils
that.
n'ont pas accès au logement, ils n'ont pas accès à
They
l'éducation
don't
comme
have
il faut,
access
ils
to
n'ont pas
accommodation,
accès
to education as
à un
it
toit,
was
par
supposed to
exemple. Il y a des
be,
enfants qui dorment à
and
la belle
don't
étoile.
have access.
Tout ça, ce sont
We have got
des
children
défis qu'il faut
who are
relever parce
living
que
a good life,
c'est toujours un
and
problème de justice chez
sometimes
nous. Merci.
when we have like street children, these are living in very poor condition. Thank you very much.
That's a very, very important point. I'm going to allow Darito. Darito, just give me a minute to allow you to talk. Darito, you talk and let us know what are the challenges that you face in the justice system. Darito?
Yes, hello.
Yes, go on.
One of the challenges which we face in the justice system. Yes, the challenges we face in the justice system is that one, first of all, the definition of the child in Zambia is not concrete. In a concrete sense that there's some other documents that state that a child is defined as a person below the age of 16. There's some other documents that state that the child is a person below the age of 18. So you find that when a child has been found in conflict with the law, there are all those issues. Also, the thing is that we courts children, especially in rural areas. So if maybe a child is default, for example, the case can be taken to the police, but due to some, maybe we can say corruption, the case cannot court in that, or there's the place called a district. Rufunsa doesn't have a court, and the Luangwa district, for them to access, meaning that some cases handled very well in most cases.
Dalito, we have lost you. Dalito, we have lost you. We have lost you. So I'm going to allow Ona Lerona to speak. Ona Lerona, please speak.
Okay, I'm Ona Lerona from South Africa. I would like to share some story that happened 2 years back. It was in 2018, whereby there were 3 boys who raped the other boy. The 2 boys were 14 years old and the other one was 13 years old. So they were taken to different prisons. They were taken to prison because they committed the most serious offense. So that's why they were taken to the prison. Yeah, I'm finished.
Thank you, Olanorena. Rabu, your name, man. Rabu, are you able to talk? I hope I have pronounced it correctly. RHABU, Rabu or Habu? Rabu, are you able to speak?
Yes.
Okay.
The justice system in Tanzania, first of all, is economic status of parents, that they're not able to afford the money to pay the lawyers to handle the case. And the second one, a lot of officers has no capacity to deal with child cases because the laws of handling child cases, they have been made other laws than before. So officers has no capacity to deal with these child cases. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rahab. Someone wrote your name very funny. Esther, is any of your girls want to talk? Esther? Okay, Naftali, but you need to unmute yourself, Naftali. Naftali?
Yes.
You need to unmute yourself and talk. What are the challenges of accessing justice in Kenya?
Okay. Are you getting me?
Yes, we can get you. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you for this opportunity. I'm Naftali from Kisumu Remand in Kenya. And as we are talking about the challenges, sometimes children are overstayed under police custody in cells up to 2 months. And if the police officers who are those who are the same people who you are supposed to report such a matter to them, and they are the ones who are holding you under custody. You cannot access that right. You should be taken to court within 24 hours. Then here is a point you are staying under police custody more than 2 months. See, you are denied your justice. And as the law states, our cases concerning children should take at most 6 months. And you find others take up to a year, and you are a child. You should be going to school. And all this duration you are remanded in a remand, and you are supposed to go to school. So your education is interfered. That's why I have to stay. Thank you.
Thank you. Esther, do you have anybody who wants to talk from your side? Esther? Esther, are you there? Okay, I'm going to allow Darito to talk again. Darito, go ahead. Yeah?
Oh, yes. Like I was saying, that challenges we children face. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, Darito. Darito, go ahead.
I was saying that there's a long move from Zambia. Yes, I was saying that the challenges which children face, one of them is that we do not have a proper definition of a child in Zambia, and we find that other documents they state that a child is a person who is below the age of 16. The other documents state a child is a person who is below the age of 18. So you find that when a child is has been found in conflict with the law, it's so hard for them to their case to be determined. As a result, often there is not followed and we do not have enough child training in Zambia. Also, the courts which are meant for adults, children feel when they are taken in this court. We do not have enough courts. I'll give an example. The same this part of Saka province doesn't have any courts, and they depend on Luangwa district.
Go on. We've lost you again, Darito. Okay. Ayad, what are the challenges in the justice system?
Please, can I talk by Arabic?
Yes, you can do Arabic.
Thank you. أنا إياد تامر، أنا من مصر، عندي 15 سنة. عندنا هنا في مصر عندنا مشكلة كبيرة في زي التمييز. بيحصل عندنا هنا تمييز بشكل كتير جدا، وخاصة مثلا زي في التعليم برضو في عندنا مشكلة. حضرتك الأشخاص مثلا اللي هم مثلا فقدوا أهلهم أو هم وهم صغيرين فقدوا أهلهم أو ما فيش فلوس يدفعوها للتعليم بيترموا، بيتسابوا ومحدش بيعلمهم، وده بيأثر بعد كده على المجتمع وعليهم. حضرتك مثلا في أشخاص أنا أسمع عنها
there are some people I know very well. they are not getting education because their families. I am in Alexandra, and I know a person in Alexandra, and this individual is not going to school. He is just taking smoking, and this is not a very good thing. And this affects a lot of people here in Egypt, and not only in Escandaria, but in also other governorate or provinces where this happens. And Alexandra is a big governorate, and there is a lot of problems which is facing children. Education is not from. It is the government which should take care of them and give them education. This is what I want to say. Thank you very much.
So Esther, I had seen you had unmuted yourself. Esther, do you have any girls there?
Yes.
Okay. Can you talk one by one?
Yes. One, the challenges which the children face. The challenges which the children face in justice system. One of them is overstaying in a police station. Can you hear me?
Yes, go on. Yes.
Second, shortage of teachers in a rehabilitation school. Third, misunderstanding. Fourth, sleeping on a cold floor in police station. Some police stations do not have toilets. And lastly, being put with adults in the police cells. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Do you have anybody else there, Esther? No, just that one person?
I have summarized.
Oh, you have summarized for everyone?
For all, yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Esther. I had seen, is it Meru or they left? Meru. I'd seen Meru. I think Meru they left. Crystal, I've seen your hand up again, so I'm going to allow you to talk one more time before we go to the next question.
أنا سوف أسمح لك بالمداخلة قبل ما نبدأ بالبند التالي.
Go on, Crystal.
واصلنا السيدة كريستالا.
Thank you once again. The other point that I would like to add is that sometimes the children in Zalika would be taken to testify as witnesses in the court, and if they are going to testify, I'm sure the hearing would not just be in one day. They will proceed to the next day. So in those days, we do lack limited access to safe houses for the girls and boys who require temporary shelter. And if these children don't have the safe houses for temporary shelter, they will be living in their homes, maybe in the same communities with the perpetrators. And once this perpetrator is powerful in that area, they will be coming to visit this child. They want to bribe their family, or they're threatening the family, like there is some sort of intimidation. And sometimes it would discourage the child to testify in court just because the child is afraid of the perpetrator who is more powerful in their community, or maybe the family of that child stopped the child from testifying just because they were bribed by that perpetrator. So this is also a big challenge in justice for children. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Christelle. We are taking all these points down. Thank you for that. I'm looking for someone who has not spoken. Matwe, you will forgive me. Your name, I don't know how to pronounce it. Matwe Mtawela something. Mtawela, M-T-H-A. WELA. Mutwa, please just talk. I can't pronounce the name.
Hi, I'm Tawelanga from South Africa.
Go ahead.
Children are arrested when they should rather be taken to social services. Sometimes the police are called for children when they have committed minor crimes. Even though we have children courts, children are not prepared when they go to court. Thank you.
Thank you, Mtawalanga. That's a very good point. Children, their services, instead of being taken to the system, they need to be taken for social services. That's a very good point. Thank you so much. I'm looking for someone who has not spoken. Faith Chibwe, but I think you had spoken. Faith? Faith? Sorry, Faith. Faith?
Hello?
Yeah, go on.
So from what I'm hearing, I think the biggest challenge across our continent is that children don't really understand the justice system. And I think this is because of big documents and everything is adult friendly and not child friendly. When you look at documents that stipulate laws and stuff like that, they are written in languages that young people cannot even understand, and young people are unaware of such processes. From what I have heard from everyone else, I'm not really assuming, I know that young children don't really know about their rights to speak out and have a justice which is child friendly. And this is mainly because of the documents are adult friendly, the processes are adult friendly, the lawyers, most of them are adult friendly. That's what I really wanted to say.
That's a very good point. The laws are all written for adults. The lawyers themselves are adults. Nobody has thought of having to get in child-friendly lawyers. All the information is all adult-like, and that's why we do not understand. And so we cannot get access to justice when we don't understand what it is. Isaac, I think I've seen Isaac somewhere.
So,
Isaac, yes.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Isaac.
I think that many children do not know our rights, so we end up lacking the access to justice. And also, you find that many law firms are really expensive, thus the children are not able to hire lawyers to be in their sides during the cases, so they end up lacking the access to equal justice.
Thank you, Isaac. Two very important points. Children don't know their rights, so they don't know when they are being violated, and so they don't know when they to report. They do not know when the justice system should start. And number two, lawyers are very expensive. I have lawyer friends who will send you a fee note and you want to cry. So yeah, thank you so much for those 2 points. Those very, very important points. So I can see who has not spoken here now. Christelle, you had spoken. Your hand is still up. Emily Sarfoa. Please, you forgive me if I pronounce your name badly. Emily, please go ahead. Emily? Emily, are you there? Emily, go and speak.
Hello?
Yeah, go on. Go on, Emily.
I'm Emily from Ghana.
Yes, Emily from Ghana, go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
I think when a child is in fear and then he has a problem, like let's say he has been abused or he or she or she has been raped. Because of fear, she can't come out and tell a policeman or anyone to help, because she might think that no one would be able to help her, and then maybe the one who committed the offense wouldn't get any wouldn't be served the right punishment. So I think fear is also part, and then because we as children we don't really know our rights, and then there are no we don't have people who protect us too. That is why.
Thank you, Emily from Ghana. So I'm looking for someone who's not spoken. Okay. Emmanuel. Okay, sorry. Before Emmanuel speaks, someone from Meru. Please do not switch on your camera. Please do not switch on your camera. Go ahead, Meru.
Why does a minor get when he or she goes to court? Why does the court says that the file cannot be seen?
Yeah, that's a good question. Unfortunately, today we don't have lawyers to respond to that question, but I think it's a concern that there is that of they say the files cannot be found. Okay, Meru, mnaweza kaongea na Kiswahili, tutajaribu mimi na Cleopas tutajaribu kuandika na Kizungu. Unaweza kaongea na Kiswahili.
Swali ni mbona ukienda kotini unapatikana unaambiwa kwamba faili haipatikani?
Haipatikani, lakini nakuuliza sasa, tunauliza hizo ndio ni shida gani mko nazo kwa nini kwa juvenile kwa nini kwa kupata access to justice?
Hatuna lawyers.
Hamna lawyer nyingine?
Tukienda kotini wakiongea hatusikii hiyo language. The
language. Okay, kwa sababu kama sisi hapa tunaongea na Kizungu baada ya nyinyi mnaongea na Kiswahili. Okay, asante sana. Niko mtu mwingine anataka kuongea?
Yeah.
Nani mwingine?
Kwa nini wanatupeanga bondi kubwa?
Okay, bond. The bond is an issue. Okay, asante. Asante sana. So I'm going to allow someone else to talk. Is there anybody else who wants to talk?
What is weeping now?
Sorry, Emily? Sorry, Emily, are you speaking?
Oh, this is Desmond.
Okay, Desmond, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to talk about when it comes to children in the justice system. So, you see, I'm speaking from Ghana, by the way. Desmond from Ghana. When in the communities or on our side, when children face this kind of things or they claim to be like at fault, they are being sent to these correctional centers, which most of them are lack of amenities or facilities, such as the good place for them to sleep. When they go there, they fall due to all these mosquito bites and other things, and they lack this toilets and other, even their food that they take is very bad to their health. And since those places are called correctional centers, they are not being taken into consideration their rights any longer. They are being abused, beaten, and all sorts of punishment are being inflicted upon them. And also, as Emily said earlier on, when it comes to stigma, the children find it difficult to come out to say, this is what has been done to me, or this is how I have been abused, because of the stigma or the fear that when I should say it out, I'll be sabotaged. Okay, it's like we the children, our ideas are not being taken into consideration, and since we are children, it's based that adults are always right.
Thank you so much, Desmond.
So
I'm sorry,
since
I did
adults
not.
are always right.
Go on, Desmond.
Okay. I was saying that as children, when we try to speak forth or to speak, our ideas are being sabotaged when it comes to offense or when it comes to justice, because they claim we are children and our ideas are not meaningful. Okay, we don't take our ideas into consideration. And when it comes to stigma, stigma is another thing. As a child, once you go and report an adult for maybe abusing you, once you get back to the community, you are being stigmatized. They start giving you a whole lot of names, calling you a whole lot of things because of just one step you took to report someone who did something bad. So I think stigma is also another thing that affects us when it comes to the justice system. That's what I want to say about.
Thank you, Desmond. Thank you. And let me summarize what the Kiswahili was. They were saying that sometimes when they go to court, the prosecution say, or the people in the judiciary, they say they can't find the court. Sorry, parenting there. I'm saying, so if they are saying that the bond is high, the challenges is they can't afford lawyers because they are very, very expensive and they take a lot of time in court.
لو سمحت ينفع لو سمحتي بس أضيف حاجة؟
Go on, Ayad.
Allow me to add one point here.
بص لو سمحتي حضرتك في احنا عندنا مشكلة.
We have a problem in Egypt that when you go to Allah schools where there's a great number of students from the young, there's always harassment of the pupils in most of the schools, and whenever a case is presented to the authorities, it's not given consideration. Given that we are young, no one seems to listen to our grievances, and I can say that there's at times we are not peaceful in our schools and in our institutions of learning because no one seems to take our grievances seriously. And I also appeal to you that there's need to look into this issue. And also when you look at when it comes to punishing pupils, أنا رأيت السيدة
There are some children who has to testify in front of the person who violated her instead of camera at the child justice place. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think we have ran. Rahab, do you want to talk? Or I can see another hand from this other side. Naftali, you can unmute yourself and talk.
Yes, I want to talk. My name is John from Tanzania. I have another point. First of all, justice system is not friendly to children, especially child with disabilities, because maybe when they are being violated, maybe when that act happens, or when that criminal raped a girl, maybe a girl cannot talk, she cannot scream, or she cannot ask for help, or maybe she cannot see. So, I mean, that system is not stable because children cannot defend themselves, cannot stand for themselves because they are not able. Their body system, they lack something, they cannot talk. So when they want to defend themselves, they cannot because they are weak. So that's why they can be violated easily because there is no friendly system for child with disabilities to protect them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anele. Naftali, yes? Naftali? I've seen your hand up.
Hello. Yeah.
Naftali?
So, another problem problem of court handling files of children. Okay, handling of files concerning children cases in courts. Sometimes it's like when you go to court and you are a child, like the complainant is able to alter the proceedings of your case. Like they can pay some bribes, the police officers can be bribed, and sometimes you find that your files are missing. So when you're taken to court, your names are not read. So this is a problem because even where we go to look for justice, there is corruption. The police officers are corrupt, some of them, and the government should do something on this. Not that the government keeps on talking about things it should do and what the law states, and they're not doing what the law wants. There is nothing which is being done. It's just it should be done. It should be done. All of it should be done. What is the government doing on all these things? That's my question. Thank you.
That's a very good question, Naftali. So those are the questions that we need to respond to. Siviwe, please talk.
Hello.
Go ahead, Siviwe.
Oh, my name is Siviwe from South Africa. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Siviwe.
Okay. My concern
Est-ce que
is...
vous m'entendez ici? Oui, tu peux y aller. Ma préoccupation ici...
Is it possible for justice system and SAPS to have someone at children level to make it easy for them to speak?
Est-ce qu'il y aurait vraiment moyen de mettre au niveau du système de justice des représentants des enfants pour que les enfants puissent avoir leurs droits en cas de besoin?
I did not hear you. Please repeat what you
Je n'ai pas bien saisi. Est-ce que tu peux répéter la question?
Siviwe?
Yes, ma'am.
Please repeat.
Oh, is it possible for justice system and SAPS to have someone at children level, make it easy for them to speak and to someone in their age, as children become more open and free to talk to?
Okay, and that's a very good point. Can they make the justice system more friendly and accessible to children at the different level? Thank you so much for that. And then talk. Daniel, also, are you able to talk? I saw your hand up.
Yes.
Yes?
So the challenge that we face is that the children in juvenile institution are not given an opportunity to attend the burial of their parents or relatives during their time in the juvenile institution. And at times you find that the juvenile institution are far from home, so you find it difficult. But the parents, maybe they are not able to visit their children. So we would like maybe the government to distribute institutions countrywide so that it may not be a challenge for us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Daniel. That's a very good point. Yes, go ahead. You can talk.
My name is Emmanuel Valier from Zambia. Some challenges that we face in the justice system. The first thing is the absence of confidentiality. Here in Zambia, quite right, we can report cases of child abuse, but what comes out is society pointing at us as, okay, it's that child who was abused. Cases are not being kept confidential as they ought to be. then most of the sentences that are declared are very soft. If an adult was to abuse a child, they will probably go out with a 10 years sentence, which is really little, because if a child is abused, they become traumatized, and most of them actually commit suicide, which is something bad. But also, the government, the police, and every institution under the justice system have not really put in a lot of effort. They rely on cases coming to them than them going into the field. There are a lot of children who are abused in rural areas and in the cities themselves, but the stigma, that fear of going to the police stations, is really high. And instead of them going about to check for those cases, because I really take it that children will not always speak out for themselves in cases where they're embarrassed and they feel like society will not accept them afterwards. Then there is a case of corruption. I mean, corruption in the justice system is really high. Let's say a child is abused and they go to a police station. Then the end result is that an adult will probably bribe the police people there, and the case will be dropped in that way. The last thing is that most of the documents and laws are for the highly educated. The language used is not really friendly when it comes to the child. Then my question is, what are the governments doing when it comes to children who are born in the correctional facilities? Because it is part of the justice system. So what is the government doing when it comes to children who are born in correctional facilities with their parents in there? Thank you.
Thank you. Emmanuel, you have raised up some very, very important points. Yes, now we understand the language that is used in court is not child-friendly at all. And children, so there's need for us to start rechecking the language that is used in court so that children can be able to access justice. There needs to be child-friendly language. And yet a very good question, what happens to children who are born by parents who are incarcerated? So what happens to those children? That's a very, very good point. Thank you so much. Desmond, I can see your hand up. Please unmute yourself and lower your hand. Desmond? Oh, this is from earlier. So my next question goes to all of us again. What would you want to see changed in the justice system? What do you want to see changed? So because you have spoken about all these challenges, the files are missing, you're taking so long, there is no reporting systems for persons for children who have been violated. What do you want to see change? Please lift up your hand. What do you want to see change? Faith, go ahead and answer. Someone else? Daniel, yes. Naftali, yes. Okay, Faith, be the first one, please. You're the one, your hand was up first. What do you want to see changed?
So the first change that we would love to see is, first of all, have police officers who are really child-friendly, because those are the first people who handle cases when it comes to justice. They're the first-hand people to take care of such. So we want to see police officers who are really child-friendly. Then we also want to see lawyers who are also child-friendly, because lawyers are the ones who handle cases, and they're the ones who many of the times do researches, investigations, and they're quite intimidating at many occasions, which might make the child feel intimidated and fail to speak out on issues that they have passed through. And then we would love the government to come up with documents that young people would understand, that children would understand, and those who are not quite educated, for lack of a better term, would also understand, because they have really big words which even I don't understand. So would love to see documents that allow everyone to understand and be able to have that freedom. And I would love all the young people across this continent to have that strength, to have the courage to speak out whenever they're abused. That means there should be awareness among children to say they have these and these rights, so that they can be able to speak out every time when they are violated. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So the next person who raised up their hand is Daniel. For 1 minute, please. Daniel, what do you want to see change?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go on.
My point is all children cases to be handled by child-friendly judges or magistrates and strictly in child-friendly courts. That's my point.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Let me go to this other side. Meru remand home.
Chenye tungetaka kifanyike ni tusaidiwe makesi siharakishwe juu sahii kuna corona na unajua wengi ni wa shule bado hawaendelei na mashule, so tungeomba tuharakishiwe makesi ili turudi manyumbani tuweze kuendelea na masomo hadi tuko huko home.
Okay, Asante. So what he's saying is he wants the cases to be fast tracked, especially now because of Corona. They need the cases to be finalized so that they can go back and stay with their families and so that they can complete their education. Thank you so much. Meru, iko mtu mwingine anataka kuongea? Hakuna?
Ndio hiyo.
Tungependa kutafutiwa interpreters so that they can be, so that we cannot be struggling to talk in the court.
Thank you. Yeah, kwa court. So when you're in court, you have interpreters who are interpreting in English or Kiswahili so that you cannot be able to struggle in court. Asante sana. Asante sana. I can see some more hands here. I'm going to go this other side. And Christelle, what do you want to see changed?
First of all, I would like to see change by within the children themselves. Like, it is possible that within their areas they can form clubs where they would be meeting on their own with a few people who are older than them. Then they could be discussing their own problems within themselves, and then they could see how to help each other, because there are some things that children cannot tell the elders that they can just share with their friends. So by that, we can help each other just by talking to each other, and things can go well. Just like in the camp, we have groups like Child Parliament, we have groups like Cross Gate Eco. So before you report sometimes, or maybe you're afraid to report, you can go with your friends, like you tell your friends your problem, they could help you to escort you, and you could report without any fear. It's just like a matter of helping each other, like children or youth. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Christelle. Mutawalenga, yes, go ahead. Mutawalenga, you need to unmute yourself and talk. Okay, Emmanuel, you need to unmute yourself and talk.
Okay, thank you. The first thing is for governments to understand, admit themselves that children need to participate in the justice system. Then, of course, the language has to be changed. This has been a cry for a long time. Even in our schools, the language used when it comes to cases like these is still maybe technical and hard for us to understand. So the language should be changed. Then there should be committees that have been appointed for such cases, committees that will consist or comprise of lawyers, policemen, and social workers, people that will counsel the children when it comes to these cases. Then for our government, Zambia, it has to clearly define a child, because earlier on, Dali Solungu mentioned that there are a lot of definitions of a child in Zambia. But let me raise some clarity. A child is any person below the age of 18. When it comes to the penal code, when it comes to the penal code, in cases of child defilement, then a child is any person below the age of 16. Then I also appeal to the children, ask children to speak out for ourselves. Parents or adults will never come to our rescue when it comes to these issues unless we speak out in the same way that we're speaking out right now. But every child has to speak out for themselves. And the promotion of child rights should also be enhanced. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. And Emily, as you talk, I want you to think about COVID-19 and how it has affected the justice system and what you want to see change. Emily, and then Ayad, you can talk after Emily.
كنت عايز أضيف حاجة لو سمحتي.
Hello.
Yes, go on, Emily.
I want to second what Crystal said, and that is when we have less as children, sometimes we can't tell our parents and then if we have counselors that we trust, I think it will be better because they would understand the child rights and then they would really understand children. When we have difficulty, we can go to them and then we can express ourselves better. And also, if there are more social protection agencies too, we can go there and then, let's say, referrals and other stuff. Whenever a child is facing difficulties, we can refer this child to the social protection agencies where they can be assisted.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Emily. So we don't have time, so I'm just going to get someone who has not spoken. So, Ayad, you can talk. Ayad?
ايوه انا هنا. لو سمحتي حضرتك، في هنا مشكله برضو الالتزامات بتطبيق قانون الطفل في اقسام الشرطه. يعني في اقسام الشرطه عندنا ما بيطبقش قانون الطفل، والمدارس المفروض ودور الرعايه ما بيطبقش قانون الطفل. وده
Daoudi, please move to your Daoudi, please move to the Daoudi, please move to please move.
Hello?
Go on, Iyad.
شكرا. بص حضرتك، هو في المفروض تطبيق القانون بتاع الطفل في اقسام الشرطه.
The law to be implemented by the police, and because we have this law but we don't see it being implemented in schools or police, so we want a commitment so that this law concerning the children should be implemented. But up to now, no one is not being implemented. It's a big problem. And thank you very much.
So, Mtawalenga, you back?
Mtawalenga, est-ce que tu es là?
Hi, I'm Tawalanga from South Africa.
Okay, go on. Go on, Mtawalenga.
Because children do not know their rights, and so the police beat them at times. The parents or their traditional leaders sometimes negotiate on cases that should be dealt with the justice system. What the government can do is educate children on their rights and provide them with the opportunity to speak up for themselves. For example, the government can place social workers in schools that children can speak with on such issues. Proper court preparations for children, especially in cases of sexual offenses like rape. Children should be taught what to expect when they go to court, and all these cases to be in the children's courts under camera. Thank you.
Thank you, Mtawalenga. I just want to allow, Mary, you guys had spoken, so I'm not going to allow you to talk because you have already spoken, so that we can give a chance to other people. Onalerona, please talk for 1 minute.
Where I want to see change. I want to see change in the government. Government should try to be more fair and give the great justice to us as kids. Government must make sure that the police do their best to help kids. Kids mustn't go to court. They should be on cameras because the perpetrators may hate them at court. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Emmanuel? Emmanuel? Emmanuel, are you there? He's gone. Desmond, finally? Desmond?
Yeah. For me, I would like to kindly plead with our government to promote children empowerment starting from the schools, because it's during children empowerment whereby we can know our rights fully, so we will not be stigmatized or being sabotaged in the community. And also, there should be child-friendly policies when it comes to the justice system, whereby when we, the children, go to the police station to report an issue, will be treated fairly when we treat an issue. And also, there should be child protection policies that are just there. They should help us to implement them in order to sustain our security or our justice in our communities or where we find ourselves. So the child protection policies should be made known to us in our schools, since we spend most time in our schools. So they should make that child protection policies being known or being taught in our schools. And the child protection policy should also be in favor of children. It should be child friendly. It shouldn't be just something that the adults alone will discuss, but they should also try to reach out to us, the children, and hear our views. Yeah, that's what I want from the government. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Dalito, just finalize the last point. Dalito? Dalito, are you there? You're not there. So I'm going to come this side, and then Mumin,
Hello.
1 minute.
Hello.
Yes, go on, Mumin.
Yeah, what I wanted, I just went, parents to be
Okay,
taught,
Okay, after
I'm
Mumin finish, Dalito, you can talk. Mumin, go ahead.
Yeah, I want just parents to be taught, on social medias and radios, TVs, how, to create social.
Yes, I was saying that there's need.
Sorry?
Hello?
Hello?
Okay, Dalito, you have to wait for Mumin to finish, and then you can talk.
Hello?
Go on, Mumin.
Okay, madam, thank you. I just want parents to be taught how to be, friendly with the children, because, is the people who handle children most likely are the parents. So most likely, most of the parents do not know how, children to be handled with care, and so most of the parents may not be understanding children or maybe not be caring for one reason or the other. So my point of view towards that was just like teaching parents on social medias, radios, televisions on how to handle children with care. The other points I wanted to talk about is teachers. Teachers to give hopes, and be friendly to the students who are even at young age. Most likely, children are students or pupils in primary or secondary level. So my point of view towards even the teachers is to be taught on how being friendly with the children, because most of the teachers may not be so much caring about the children, and they are the second parents of the children. So I just wanted to have a view or an eye on that 2 points. I don't know if they are applicable. Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much. Dalito, finally, you finish up because we don't have time. We need to finalize.
Yes, I was saying that there is need for us to invest and to establish enough children courts, friendly courts, child-friendly courts in our country, and also making sure that they are not just centered in the urban areas, but also in the rural areas. And also to make sure that we have one concrete definition of the child for the various pieces of laws which we have in our country, and making sure that we have images already in the cells. So, because most community schools they are congested, so there is more spaces so that children are not in contact. Because as well as you can see, COVID-19 affecting us in different ways. More space so that children get affected to any disease. So we as who can provide aid represent children, or not all can afford. So there's need as well to work on this just alluded.
Okay, thank you so much. So we are going to Daniel. I can see Daniel and who else? And Naftali, because you guys, you know what the system is. I'm going to give you 1 minute each to finalize so that we can finalize. We have less than 2 minutes to finish up this. And Naftali, go ahead for 1 minute.
Sharon, one of the challenges is, one of the answer is, the government should fasten cases concerning children for them to go back to their parent for parental care. I'm finished.
Okay.
Like
Thank you so much, Naftali. And who? I saw a hand here. Where is Daniel? Daniel also?
Yes. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Unmute. Hello? Do you hear me?
Go ahead, Daniel. Go ahead.
My point is, when an offender is being arrested, the arresting officers should explain reason for arrest, and it should be done in a very friendly manner. Another point
is that when a young offender is maybe disabled and is arrested, how can the government do so that the child can be taken in a special cell where the children with disabled are kept, or in a special remand? Thank you.
Thank you. That's my point.
Hi, I'm Anela from South Africa. There are children that don't know their rights, and the police can. Hi, I'm Anela from South Africa. There are children that don't know their rights, and the police can beat them anytime and the traditional leaders and the parents, they sometimes negotiate because on their cases they should be dealt on the justice systems.
Thank you, Anele. Naftali, you can go ahead.
My point is this: children should not be beaten when being arrested by the police officer, so that because the case have not been cleared, but they are accused of deceit or not. Thank you.
Hello? Hello?
Naftali, go ahead.
Okay, I'm saying this. Police officers should not mistreat children while during arrest. They should treat them in a humane manner. Sometimes they are harassed, beaten, and they are not even allowed to talk. And since you are a child, you are not even told why you are being arrested. You are just handcuffed and taken to the police station where you stay there. You will only know of your mistake when you are at the court. So we should not be harassed. Thank you.
Thank you. Meru Remand Home. Meru Remand Home. Just one minute. Just one person. Because we need to finish. Meru Remand Home.
Chenye tungetaka ni kaa ni court ituharakishie, ituweke hata ada chief ili tuendelee na masomo juu kaa ni remand, unajua hauwezi ukaendelea na masomo juu hata ya mastress ya nyumbani. So tungetaka kaa ni court tusaidie, ituweke kaa ada chief for provision ili tuendelee na masomo.
Asante. So what he's saying that they should be removed from the remand so they can go back to home and they do school. Crystal. Crystal, finally finish up.
Yeah, so one of the changes I would like to see is that there should be child-friendly working feedback mechanisms, like most especially in this time of the COVID-19 pandemic. The children are not able to go out, or sometimes the offices are not usually open. So maybe they should provide the telephone booths in areas where children can use the toll-free calls to go and call and report their concerns. Or maybe those children who don't know where the offices are, they can just use those telephone booths so that they can call. Or else they should also provide the suggestion boxes so that those who know how to write can also write their concerns and put in the suggestion boxes so that they can be helped. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, everyone, for engaging with us. We really do appreciate you coming and joining us and for us having this conversation. I'm going to request, I don't know if he's still around. I thought I saw he's still here. Cleophas, to give us like a summary of what we have spoken about and what we are going to tell the committee tomorrow. Cleophas?
Yes. I hope you can hear me. I've been dropping on and off the call. Apologies. It's reading and it was interfering with my connection a little bit, but thank you so much to all the children and what you've been able to say. I know I may not have captured everything, but I will maybe consult with many of my colleagues that we represented tomorrow. My
I think we have lost you, Cleo. So, Antane, are you able to give us summary?
About how the day will be celebrated tomorrow and how your concerns will be aired to the relevant people.
Hello.
I think we've lost Cleo. So you give us the summary.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, Antane.
Yeah, first, I really like to appreciate boys and girls who have participated, energetically and with amazing, thoughts and ideas and sharing their own experiences, their friends' experiences. I really want to thank all of the children who participated here. There are a lot of issues raised by the children, and I would like to mention some of them. There are issues concerning the gaps in the child-friendly justice system. They are mostly related to some of the policies that some countries do not have child-friendly particular policies. It's also related with infrastructure, where it was mentioned that there are no toilets and in the police station, in the courts where children can use. And there are situations where children sleep over at police stations for several days in a cold floor, which expose them to diseases. And there is also misunderstanding children are mostly misunderstood by adults, by the law enforcement, including police, and they face a lot of challenges. There were also indications that in terms of policy, the documents, most of the documents are not child-friendly. They are prepared for adults, and they couldn't understand, the legal terms. So they need. They cannot understand the processes, the procedures while they are in contact with the law. They have also mentioned there is a lot of stigmatization for children who appear before courts. There was also a mention of a high bond and expensive lawyer costs when they are forced to defend the cases. It was also mentioned that there is a bribery. Corruption is also is pervasive in court systems, where files are mostly hidden by court officials, and they have to pay to get their cases listened to. And also, a key point also raised is absence of confidentiality. Cases are not kept privately, so people do know that the cases of children are known to the public without any kind of protection. That would hurt the children in their grown-up lives. So the last question children talked about, and which I gathered, is what do you do to change this, and their recommendation to governments and other stakeholders. And the children have raised very good points in terms, I can put them in two ways. They have said children can play their own role in terms of forming clubs or participating in clubs. They have mentioned examples of clubs like boys clubs or girl clubs, child parliaments, girls get equal, to discuss their issues and, to get help from each other. One of the cases mentioned here is children, mostly they don't report abuses to police because of fear. but there are some clubs and some associations that can help them, accompany them to report any kind of child abuse. The other points raised are related to the recommendation to governments. Governments are highly recommended or urged to really put in place a child-friendly policies in terms of in the justice system, because they have, most of them, even though they are from different countries, they have voiced out that it doesn't really have a child-friendly context, or the law doesn't have a child-friendly space for them. It's prepared for only adults, so they need to include them in the justice system where children understand the processes while they are accessing the justice system. They also mentioned specific cases like court cases are so delayed, especially now during COVID-19, where a lot of cases are piled up and they have to wait a long time to really get a solution to the problems in the justice system. There is also a good point raised in terms of interpretation, where they say there is a lack of interpretation where they can speak only local language, and it should be translated or interpreted to the court language, which may be different by the local language. There is also a point raised by one child saying that first, government has to be convinced in terms of child participation in the justice system. They should convince themselves that children should play a big part in the child system, which means they should be consulted in the policies and getting a child-friendly judiciary system. And they have also mentioned that government should be taking care of vulnerable children. The case in point they raised is children with special needs, such as children with disabilities, should be considered. And they also said there should be a committee to look at cases of children composing of lawyers, police, and social workers, which should consult children to make a child-friendly justice. One of the points also raised is regarding government should define age groups. It's a case of Malawi where there is a general term that says children are defined at 18, whereas the penal code says age children below age 16. Those should be clarified. There is also a mention of, in general, that promotion of child rights should be given priority. Children should be empowered and know their rights starting from school. This has to be done, not just that the children defend, know the law and access the justice system. And finally, in terms of confidentiality, I raised as a problem. There is a recommendation that a child-friendly court system should not bring children in front of the adults or into the court, but they should be participating, or they should be on. Their case can be considered on camera, where the children are not exposed to the adults in public. I think there are experiences even here in Ethiopia as well. There are children courts who are only using cameras. So this kind of experiences should be, I think, replicated. That's most of the issues raised. Over to you, Jenny.
Thank you, Antane. So I don't know. So if you can, children, if we have left anything out, those are the things that you've said over the last 1.5 hours or so. I'm hoping we have covered everything. That's what we are going to present tomorrow. We have 2 children who are among us, Mumin and Mundia, who are going to present our views tomorrow to the African Committee of Experts on the Rights and Welfare of Children, the donors, there's some of the representatives from other countries. They are going to present these things that we have said today tomorrow. So I want to say thank you so much. Unless we have left anything that is burning, we have left anything out, and you feel, you did not say my point. Are you able to lift up your hand? If we did not say your point, I can say we are all satisfied. Okay. So can you put on thumbs up? Put thumbs up if you agree with me. Thumbs up, people. I can't see thumbs up. I'm just seeing hands. So we are finished. Sorry?
Can I add something?
Yes, go ahead, Antenna.
Okay. Yeah, just to let know the children that their voices are well recorded, and like as you said, the two children will be representing them. But most importantly, this exercise is very important, as it will be documented and shared to governments, to member states, to make sure that children's voices are heard, and how you are feeling about the justice system. You have done a great job in voicing out your concern as a child, and as your partners, as organizers, will try to help in reaching those messages reach to the most influential people tomorrow. And I'm happy that two of the children will be representing you to voice out your concerns. I'm happy about this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Antenna. Yes, this recording is going to be shared with the committee of experts for them to hear what you said from your own mouth, as much as you're going to write it down and present it by children tomorrow. We want to say thank you so much. I can see, sorry, a hand up. Emmanuel, for 2 minutes, please just talk for 1 minute because we need to finish up. 1 minute, Emmanuel.
Okay, so my question is, what are the names of the two children that will represent us, and from what countries?
So we have Mumin. Mumin, are you here? I thought I saw you. There's Mumin.
Yes, madam.
Mumin and Mundia. Mundia, I think I'd seen you. Mundia, are you here? Lift up your hand, Mundia, if you are in. And Mundia. So Mundia and Mumin, please, you can switch on your camera so that the other children can see you. Mundia and Mumin, please switch on your camera so that they can see you. That's Mumin. He's from northern Kenya. And Mundia. So they're going to represent you tomorrow. Mundia, where are you? Can't see Mundia.
Yes, I'm here.
Switch on your camera, Mundia.
Okay. I'm here.
And Mundia is from Zambia. So they are going to represent you tomorrow during the meeting, but we are going to see if a few of you also will be allowed to join, but you'll not be allowed to talk. So just Mundia and Mundia and Mumin are going to be able to talk. So you have seen their faces. Mundia is from Zambia, Mumin is from Kenya. Rahab, you have a point? You can close your camera. Rahab, you have a point? Okay. So I want to say thank you again. I'm going to give this meeting back to Felicitas and Cleophas. Are they there? Felicitas, are you here? Or you are also kicked out? Or Rahab, you want to say something?
Yes, Jenny. We are happy for this participants, but what's the way forward after this discussion?
Okay, Felicitas is going to answer that question. Felicitas?
Thank you, Jenny. A great question there, Rabu. So tomorrow we actually do have the official Day of the African Child. And as per the theme, the idea tomorrow is to talk to the committee of experts, as well as some government officials, as well as ourselves as civil society organizations. what we want to do from here, firstly, is the fact that the reason we held this conversation today was twofold. First one was around appreciating some of the issues or the gaps that are existing in relation to what we as civil society organizations can do to strengthen our interventions, but also to make sure that the violations, as you have been ably identified, as well as other services that we provide, can be improved. The second was also to get your views in terms of the theme in relation to you as children that can then facilitate for the committee of experts as the structure that looks into whether or not our different countries are providing or are upholding the African Charter, can also push from their end to make sure that governments are adhering to what is required for children to have access to justice. So what is going to happen from tomorrow onwards is the fact that every discussion we're going to have tomorrow and what we had today is going to form a report that we're going to be sharing with civil society organizations. And it is our expectation that civil society organizations will take the report, particularly your recommendations, and infuse them within their projects or programs or interventions so that already we are adhering or we are taking on board what you've said. Secondly, is to ensure that we can have children participating in our interventions as civil society organizations. Thirdly, we are going to be taking your recommendations from today, from the 1st of June, as well as from tomorrow, to then form our advocacy agenda as civil society organizations, engaging with governments, but also engaging with other stakeholders that are not necessarily government, but are providing critical services in relation to ensuring that your rights are protected, that they are promoted, and that they are fulfilled. So that's our basis. But should you feel that perhaps we are not living up to these promises, you are very free to engage with us through the organizations that talked to you for you to participate today, or you can reach out to us directly. We will share our contact details with yourselves, but it will be much easier to engage with organizations that talked to you to be part of this meeting from your countries, because it will be much easier to do that follow up. So that's our way forward in terms of having concluded this meeting. So what? Thanks, Jenny.
Thank you so much, everyone. We really do appreciate, and we hope tomorrow you'll be able to join in on Facebook and on YouTube. I think they're going to be on Facebook and participate. I'm sure they will allow you to ask questions on Facebook, on the committee Facebook page. So you can be able to join. If you feel we did not represent you well, you can still ask a question tomorrow. We really do appreciate your indulgence. And I want to say thank you so much to my co-organizers and facilitators. I really want to appreciate, and every one of you. God bless you, and bye.
Bye-bye.